Welcome back everyone to today's video where we are going to dive into the fascinating story of one of the most overlooked yet incredibly valuable coins in American history, the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1985. At first glance, many people might think a penny is simply a small copper coin with very little value, something that most of us might pass over without even thinking twice. But in the world of numismatics, where collectors, historians and investors carefully study the history and uniqueness of coins, the story changes dramatically. A coin that was once minted for just a single cent can now be worth a staggering amount of money, in this case as much as $770,000 in the current market. This unbelievable value has transformed an ordinary 1985 1-cent Liberty coin into a treasure worth searching for, and today we will explore why this particular coin is so important, what makes it rare, the history behind it, and why collectors are willing to pay so much for a single penny. The 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin belongs to the long and iconic Lincoln cent series, a design that has been in circulation since 1909. When it was first released, it was made to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The Lincoln cent holds a special place in American culture because it was the very first circulating coin to feature a real person, breaking away from the traditional allegorical designs of liberty that had appeared on earlier coins. By 1985, the Lincoln cent had already been in use for more than 7 decades, and millions of coins were produced by the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, we see the profile of Abraham Lincoln, his image based on a sculpture created by Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," one of the most recognizable mottos of the United States. To the left of his profile is the word Liberty, and to the right is the date 1985, often accompanied by a small mint mark depending on where the coin was struck. On the reverse side of the coin in that era, the design featured the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. A fitting tribute to one of the most respected presidents in American history. Now, you might ask, if billions of these coins were minted, what makes a single 1985 Liberty 1-cent so special and valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and unique minting errors that occurred during production. While the majority of the coins are worth only their face value of 1 cent, there are rare variations that collectors are constantly hunting for. Coins with double die errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and unusual metal compositions are among the most valuable. For example, a 1985 penny struck with a double die on the obverse, where the lettering or the date appears slightly doubled, can command a huge premium. Similarly, coins that were mistakenly struck on copper planchets instead of the zinc-coated steel that was standard after 1982 are extremely rare and valuable. These mistakes were not intentional but happened due to the complexity of coin production, and they have given collectors some of the rarest and most exciting finds in modern American coinage. Another important factor that drives up the value is the condition of the coin. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC carefully examine coins and assign them grades based on their state of preservation. A 1985 Liberty cent in uncirculated or mint state condition can already be worth much more than face value, but when it comes to error coins or unique varieties in pristine condition, the value skyrockets. Imagine holding a penny that is free of scratches with all its original mint luster, and then discovering it has a rare error. That is the kind of combination that can push its value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The market for collectible coins has always been driven by a mixture of history, rarity, and demand. Over the last several decades, as more people have entered the world of coin collecting, competition for these rare varieties has increased. Auction houses across the United States have seen 1985 Liberty 1-cent coins with unique features sell for eye-popping amounts, some even fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars. The current market value for the rarest 1985 Liberty cent, depending on its condition and error type, has reached as high as $770,000. This is not just a fantasy number but a real possibility in today's collector's market, as coins with extraordinary rarity have been known to break auction records. the historical context also makes the 1985 cent fascinating. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint made a major change in the composition of the penny. Up until 1982, pennies were mostly made of copper, but because of the rising cost of copper, the mint shifted to producing coins made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. This transition period led to a number of interesting minting mistakes, as some copper planchets remained in the production line. Collectors have always been intrigued by this period because coins from 1983, 1984 and 1985 sometimes display unexpected features that make them stand out from the billions of ordinary cents. A genuine 1985 copper penny instead of zinc, for example, is an extraordinary rarity. For everyday people, this means there is still a chance to discover one of these rare treasures in a coin jar, a piggy bank, or an old collection passed down through family. Imagine checking your loose change and realizing that a single penny could be worth nearly $1 million. That possibility is what excites collectors and keeps the hunt alive. The thrill of finding a coin that no one else noticed is part of what makes coin collecting such a passionate and enduring hobby. So when we talk about the 1985 Liberty 1 cent coin being worth $770,000, it is not just about the physical metal or the face value of 1 cent. It is about the story behind the coin, the errors that make it unique, the history it carries, and the demand from collectors who are eager to own a piece of numismatic treasure. This coin has become more than just currency. It has become a symbol of how something seemingly ordinary can hold extraordinary value when looked at through the lens of rarity and history. As we look at the present market, collectors continue to pay top dollar for coins in superb condition with unique minting errors. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent is a shining example of how a simple coin can evolve into a $1 million masterpiece, and its legacy is sure to grow as more discoveries are made and more people enter the world of collecting. If you have a penny jar or a collection that has been sitting untouched for years, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding onto a coin that could change your life forever. Stay tuned, because in upcoming videos we will continue to explore other rare coins, uncovering the history, the stories, and the hidden fortunes that lie within the pocket change we often take for granted. Coins like the 1985 Liberty 1 cent remind us that treasures do not always come in gold or silver bars. Sometimes they are hiding in the smallest, simplest pieces of history that we carry in our pockets.